Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. It's a beautiful Thursday from the city of Lagos State, and we're going to be talking about quite a number of things. If you're just joining Boom Bar for the very first time, this is where we give you everything sports, politics, entertainment, and everything else in between. You know, anywhere the gist carries us, we go. So we're going to be talking about quite a number of things today. A few updates. There still seems to be updates on this matter with PENGASSAN and Dangote Refinery. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say about it, but we'll see where all that drama is going to. There is a tinted glass ban that seems to start the enforcement, and apparently even indiscriminate use of horns and all those things are actually out there now. So in case you did not know, it's time to start watching how you do some things, because the police are really out there. It's already started in some states. Also, the president is set to unveil a $400 million oil terminal in Rivers State. We'll talk a bit about that. The vice president is back. He was the one that seemed to be the agile travel in the past 1-2 weeks, but the vice president is back, and a whole lot of other things that we're going to be talking about today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. My name is Dolupo, and with me in the studio is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the bar.
Okay, so straight to the gist today. Like I had said, there are quite a number of things that we're going to be talking about, but the president is in the news as usual. Yesterday, there are videos and pictures of the president being in Lagos State, being at the commissioning of the new or refurbished or renovated National Theatre, where, as I think it's called Wole Soyinka Center now. The man himself, the Wole Soyinka, who was said to be the host, is actually right there in flesh. But funny enough, I don't know if you noticed, if you saw that video, the man is really getting old now. And it doesn't look as, even though his voice still doesn't sound like a 91-year-old man, but I think it's safe to say age is finally catching up on, which I think is a good thing. Is 91. How many 91-year-olds do you see around anyway?
I honestly don't even know what you're talking about. That's why I was just laughing to myself, like, what's this one on about? Then you finally brought it home. He's not young, you know. Known the man all my life.
Yeah, you know, there is a way he has always looked, and then this man looks a little bit frail compared to the way he used to be before.
Oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I just know that it was nice seeing him again. You know, everything in place, you know, the afro, the gait, the swag, the voice, like you pointed out earlier. You know, everything was just in place for me. One of the things that crossed my mind the most, that really stuck out for me during the event at the at the Wole Soyinka Center, is how someone gets honored when he's alive. We tend to do those things when people die.
When people die, I agree. I agree.
So it was good to have him there. And, of course, President Tinubu, in his usual funny self, talked about how, of course, the naming, came about, and the documents for the renovation were brought in, and I was like, you know what, yeah, we're going to do, and this is what we're going to do. At least this is the one president you don't want to go against, and all of that. And it got people laughing. But another thing that stood out is the fact that, the old name for the CBN governor emerged again. Was the name that he had when he was in Lagos State, working as a part of Tinubu's cabinet. And he called him the headmaster and said, look, let us put something aside, and that he, as an individual, will also contribute to this,
And funny enough, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, nice that we're already talking about maintenance of the space and all that. But I'm hoping, or I was hoping, that this place would be viable enough for it to generate. Like, I'm hoping that, because I think it was the Bankers Association or something that funded it. In my head, I'm like, okay, it's supposed to be treated not like a usual federal government establishment, like a proper thing that, okay, take for example all these event centers and all that, and private places that we use. It is the funding from those things that are used to, is plowed back into it. So I'm like, is the idea not that we should treat it as such, so that as the more is being used, the revenue from it is used to maintain it?
So I think we should look at it, just based on its merits. I like the fact that you drew parallels with private sector owned event centers. But for me, I think it goes beyond funding. It's good to have funding, but it's also good to put the right people in place who understand what it is to keep those places going.
So we don't have a situation where it needs to be renovated again.
There's a guy, popular photographer on Twitter, who posted a photo of himself on the Lagos-Ibadan train, and he said he was getting on that train for the first time in 2 years, and he's impressed that everything remains the same. Everything, like the toilets, the terminals, the electrical parts of the plane are still working 2 years after.
2 years after.
You might think, it's just 2 years. No, that. So for me, I think that it's a big deal that has happened the way it did, and we must continue to not just put this infrastructure in place, but maintain it. I think the biggest, and one of the parts of maintenance is also down to the way we use these things. People treat stuff that they think they don't own.
Yes.
Anyhow,
yes. And the truth is that it's even the things that are, like, we'll call federal government stuff or state government things, are the ones that we should keep, because those are the things that our taxes, our commonwealth was used to build. Really and truly. So,
and that's something that orientation has to fix. People need to realize it. It's still your property. It is
our property at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's all good. Congratulations to Professor Wale Soyinka. Getting flowers while you're alive.
Yeah, while you're alive, it's beautiful, because we seem to forget that this man is the first African to ever win a Nobel laureate. I think he probably even won it before people like us were born. And it's just, and it is what it is. There's really nothing anybody can do about it. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. But the main conversation for today is that the president, I think October 8th, is set to unveil $400 million indigenous crude oil terminal in Rivers State. Basically, it's an export facility out of Nigeria where we're going to be exporting crude out of Nigeria. But it's actually the first. They say this is the first that is happening in about 5 decades or something.
Please excuse me. So we're making strides in Nigeria's oil sector.
Yeah.
Some things that some of us didn't even know we needed, and you start to wonder, like, oh wow, okay, oh yeah, oh that's nice. So it's funny how you just wonder, what have we been doing all the while?
Oh, I believe that we're just been whinging it, like, we're getting by. It's almost like, we're just getting by as a country. Some people, once you pay salaries, you do 1 or 2 roads here and there, and you're gonna be fine. This is just me. This is just me personally. I just feel that we're doing. So at times when we see some of these things, like you said, some of these things that you didn't even know that we needed, and then you're now like, oh, okay, this was, we needed this thing. And then by the time you actually do a lot of research, you realize that it's not a big deal anywhere else.
It shouldn't be.
it's not a big deal anywhere else, but sadly, it is what it is, and it's where we are in Nigeria. But the truth is that it's better late than never. At least we're getting to a point where we have a government that maybe realizes that we need some of these things. Anyway, moving on from that, the vice president is back in Abuja after going to New York to represent the president. And the truth is, I think we had talked about it. He had a very good outing.
I think it did.
If you
I think it
someone that follows the vice president, it's a very cerebral person. So I will not. And maybe we'll say that maybe in the last two terms, this vice president, maybe the last one, they've not been bad deputies. Let's put it like that. You know, they're people that you can send and be sure that they will be fine, they will hold their own. So I think the vice president had a good outing at the United Nations General Assembly, and he also now went from there, went to Germany, had a few meetings as well before coming back to Abuja.
Yeah, this camera is going to keep distracting us all day today.
Fine.
Yes, he did. I'm so impressed with Kashim Shettima. You know, like I've said before, you know, he's highly cerebral. He reads a lot. What they call it again? Voracious, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's such a smart guy. And his speech at UNGA, at least, let's say the president's speech that he delivered at UNGA, might have led to some serious problems. You know, because he made people take notice. And I'm happy that, I don't know if the African presidents are in a WhatsApp group, or I don't know. But it seems like they all, especially the Kenyan president also, were basically pushing hard, you know, for that extra seat that Africa has been.
It's a conversation that definitely needs to be had, whether we like it or not. Now, moving on from that, now let's go on. We're going all the way to Rivers State. There's quite a number of conversation coming from Rivers State. But first things first, in Abuja, about Rivers State, Justice James Omotosho has now dismissed a suit challenging the Rivers State emergency rule. So this suit was filed by Belema Briggs and 4 others, sought to challenge if President Tinubu's proclamation of the emergency rule. However, the judge said that the plaintiffs lacked legal standing to institute the case. It said that none of the plaintiffs were members of the State House Executive. It said none of them were from the House of Assembly or suffered unique injury or anything that they were not part of. And the plaintiff had no Attorney General's approval. So you now wonder, okay, because the name Belema Briggs probably rings a bell to some people and all that, is it that you didn't know when these things were happening? And pardon me, maybe it's also my naivety or ignorance, but why is the court just declaring something about it after the 6 months has already ended? The governor
they had a date already. You understand? When you take a case to court, you have a date when it's going to be. I'm going to get up to disconnect that thing. You
Go ahead.
You know, so let me get it.
So that's it for me. Even if it was the court that did that, I would have said that the least that they could do was look for a date that would at least coincide or would still be in between the timing. But right now, the truth is that 6 months has passed. The governor is back. Are we saying that what they're saying was that, maybe a judgment that will say that going forward, a president does not have the power to do such? Is that what we're saying?
Well, if you even read the story, you know, he also said that all the things they complained about were void. For instance, that the president used the power and the right law to declare emergency. That's what the judge said. What this kind of cases do, even if it doesn't go the way of the people that instituted it, you know, it becomes a precedent.
Oh yeah, so I get maybe I
So-
get that angle now. So it's supposed to be a precedent and all that, but now that the judge has thrown that out, there's really nothing anybody can do about that anymore. I'm still waiting for. I know that was also a case that was initiated by the PDP governors. We've not heard about that as well. And like you said, at times it's not about the person in question at the moment, is about creating a precedent at the moment. But I would also say that if the president didn't have powers to do that at all, and I'm not even talking about President Tinubu now, I'm talking generally, would there be a situation like that in the constitution? Like, are
Well,
we saying that
it's
part
the
of the
job.
constitution should be expunged? Or maybe are we saying that the president did not go about it the right way?
Yeah, it could be any of those things. But it's actually the job of the judiciary to now, interpret and say, you know what, Mr. President, what you did was wrong. And that will also augur well for Nigeria's democracy if it had happened like that. Or Mr. President was on point if the judge said that. And I think he said that in this case. However, the courts are there for people to air their views and their grievance. Their grievance is more than their views. And at times, we always say it, but maybe you just need to test the law. Because some lawyers be like, already know. They know it's not going to work. Like, you get like, but some lawyers, maybe they just want to try. Because at times, you don't know the kind of judge you made and what it would allow. And
no, it makes sense if you think about it and you know what, let's just try. You never know what will come out of it, even though sometimes, maybe because I'm not a lawyer, at times I'm like, this case doesn't make any sense. But when you look at it from the angle of someone is, when there is a judgment to it, like you said, precedence, when there's a judgment, it puts to bed any kind of ambiguity or anything.
So going
maybe
forward,
sometimes those cases really help. So it just knocks everybody out of the park. Like, there's no conversation around it anymore. So it's okay. It's okay at times when you think about those things. Now, the Rivers State High Court, still talking about courts and Rivers State in Port Harcourt, has struck out the suit filed by members of the Local Government Service Commission, where they challenge the removal by former sole administrator Ibok Ete Ibas. Now, today they had officially withdrawn their case. They've officially withdrawn their case, and now the court down threw the case out. And it makes all the sense in the world. Number one, I think new elections happened. Number two, the person that you are is no longer on that seat anymore. So, in the real sense of it, what exactly are you still?
Just to add to your numbers, your number ones and twos. Number three, the election that they came in on is ruled or deemed to be, illegal.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you came in with a faulty system and you expect to stay, understanding that election was not supposed to hold in the first place.
In the first place, exactly. I'm talking about people that illegality or legality or blah blah blah. As of last night, there was news that broke that Governor Fubara has sacked all appointees or commissioners that were affected by the Supreme Court's judgment. So now, for people that do not understand, remember that before there was state of emergency and all that, there were court cases that got to the Supreme Court that the Supreme Court had asked the governor to go back for to report the to tender a new what's this thing called that they do, appropriation bill, that it was supposed to send a new list of commissioner nominees and all that, which he did not do. At that point, there was a lot of back and forth, but the Supreme Court what he was supposed to do, would I say 6 months ago, is what he's now doing now.
The word sacked, but carry on since
again. My point is, no, or would I say my question is, if we're still going to go to this, what was now the point of your 6-month suspension? Not saying that maybe maybe whatever they did was right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, if you are still going to go back to what you were told before, then you didn't need this. You didn't need to go that route and then now come back.
Let's take a quick detour to Edo State, where something similar had happened under the previous governor.
Yeah.
Oh, you said they wanted to renovate the Edo State House of Assembly. In that particular state, for almost 2 tenures, hardly did they have House of Assembly members.
Yep.
The first one, there was controversy about who was swearing whom in, and at some point, then 4 years just lapsed like that, right?
Yep.
Then the second one, they had these issues, because he crossed from one party to all sorts of stuff. And that's the template that worked in Edo. And then it was time to play it out in Rivers State. It went belly up.
And that didn't work.
So the 6 months thing wouldn't have happened. But again, who would have thought that, something that someone could do successfully in Edo would not work in Rivers?
But it didn't change the fact that even the fact that it happened in Edo, it was still illegal.
That's what I'm saying. It was illegal, but someone got away with it. And the person spent 8 years.
Fair enough.
So why wouldn't another person try it and say, let's go this way. This is how we're going to do it. Someone has done it before.
I get you.
It's like the way people say, that they have not left PDP, that they're just partnering with people in the ADC. And when they ask them, why are you doing that? They'll say, Shebi Wike is working for APC.
Okay,
he has not
so
left
sorry.
The PDP.
Why do I keep missing this?
There was a call. I saw the
yeah.
thing light up.
Oh, I did not. I'm so sorry. If you can hear us. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Good morning, Boom Radio. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Good morning. Good afternoon from our side. Good afternoon,
Good morning.
Sir.
How are you doing?
Yeah, Sola from Boston. I have to call it.
Go ahead.
I am in my Zen mode, but this P2B guy just gets me angry sometimes. I was having a good day. Why on God's earth will you come to your state? Like, seriously. I'm serious. No. I am worried about you guys. You are so liberal to the point. Okay, let me ask you. If the Speaker of the House of Representatives, political boy, Obasa was governor, will Obi do this? He would dare not.
Funny enough.
But you have a very timid governor.
Someone said this. I saw a tweet and said that even when Fashola was governor, would this happen?
No, you won't.
Never will happen. And you know that. You know exactly what he was doing there.
Yeah.
To stoke ethnic tension.
Yeah.
Celebrate illegality, saying, I read his quote. He said he was spraying the market for showing restraint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were the words.
Who are you? And you're watching him, and he brought all the clowns there. He brought Chinedu there as well. That moron was also there.
Yeah, he was.
You guys in Lagos are just watching this happen. They destroyed the market. I have my own aunt. Lost a shop near Oniri now.
Yeah.
Oniri, nobody said it was vandalism now.
True.
Nobody said that. And for some reason, I don't know what is wrong with Lagosians. You are just too strong and timid. And they will walk over you.
So can I ask a question, sir? Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I get the idea that, Lagos is being liberal and all that. Number one, the House of Rep members and senators that followed him. Are we saying that they too did not know? Two, from the angle of the government, the Lagos State government, what do you think they should have done? Should they have stopped him from coming into Lagos State? Should they have said, Lagos, don't enter this place? I'm just saying. I'm just asking,
okay,
what do you think? And it will not look as if you're trying to stop freedom of movement of people?
Dolupo.
Sir.
I don't care how it looks.
Oh.
It's my state. So, even your question is liberal in nature. What didn't do me? Even your question is liberal. And what would you think? I am the governor of this goddamn state. I am the governor here. And you said they had rep members. Are they from Lagos?
No, they were all from the Southeast. They were all Southeast lawmakers.
It's even more insulting. It's even more insulting. So you call your fellow House of Rep member or senators from that Lagos before you went to Lagos. Obviously, former governor of the state, you could not call. You have access. My point is this. They all have access to people in power because they are either former or current. So they have access. But here's the problem. What he did, he could have done behind the scenes. Being a leader is a thankless job.
Yeah, the back channel.
It's a thankless
something called the back channel.
Maybe you could have reached out to the governor.
That people don't know.
Yeah,
you can talk to him now. You can talk to somebody if you won't talk to him.
Okay.
But the job itself is a thankless service. But he wants things to be on camera. Carry me, loan shake akiri.
So
they carry me. That's the problem.
When they had issues at the Ladipo market, when they had issues at the Ladipo market, I think it was Governor Soludo that actually used the back channels.
Yeah.
You get, and he got involved, and of course there was
he came to Lagos and even went to see the governor.
Yeah, then before you say you're going to the market and everything, there's protocol that you follow when you do these things. You understand? But that's why I was saying it yesterday.
That was being used, Shola, no bother me. That's the reason why I called. I'm not
contradicting what you're saying. I'm just saying that there are ways to go about what he did yesterday. You pointed out something that he could have done behind the scene. I said, yeah, it's called the back channels. Like, you reach out to them and say, oh, look at it. But I think he has a pattern. And yesterday I was saying it. I don't know if you caught it on the show. I'm saying that not everything is politics. If you are concerned about traders who have invested money, either, legally or illegally in constructing certain things, there's always a way for government to work out a situation. But it is not to politicize and drum up sentiment. There are ways that these things can be resolved to say, okay, this is how it's done.
But even without things being resolved, where do we now start teaching ourselves? And this is where my own issue is. So Lagos State now put out a press release to basically counter what Mr. Peter Obi, his press statement that he put out. Now, my question is, even as a leader, or as a former governor, as a leader, when do we start teaching people to actually do the right thing?
That's the political angle that I was referring to, Dolupo.
Because as much as you want to politicize it,
that is politics.
You also need people to realize that you need to obey the law.
Listen. In Abia State, about, I think it was in August, buildings were pulled down in the market to make way for a road that's been constructed. In Anambra State, this year, it has happened. I'm not sure about Enugu, you get, but I'm talking about, and he said nothing about it. He did not say anything. Are you saying that those buildings that were pulled down didn't have people running their businesses there too? But why is it that when it's Lagos, you get, and what Lagos is doing is that when they say somewhere is a mega city, it's not about a smart city. It's about the number of people. Over 10 or 12 million people dwell in Lagos. And Lagos is saying, let's get back to the basics. Let's upgrade the markets. Let's expand the roads. Let's do all these things. And a lot of these markets are still going to feel the impact.
Yeah.
Shola called now and talked about his aunt's store being affected at Onirin too. Yeah. And it's everywhere. It's happening like that. A lot of people have been affected. So why did we have to bring the ethnic coloration into it? And these are the issues. Again, the so-called lawmakers that came with him, they know the rules of engagement. They know how these things... If that thing had gone south and it had led to some kind of riot, what would he say? And that's why when he went to Edo State without permission, the governor of Edo told him, don't come here. Don't come to Edo without permission. They told him the same thing in, is it Benue? Yeah, all right. Yeah, you have the floor.
Let me just ask you a question.
Yes,
the senator that followed Peter B said something that was very dangerous. He said, without you in this Lagos, they don't have anything. You are the one. If you hear what he was saying, I could not believe that they let him get away with that. Like, without you, without this Lagos would not be anything. You're the one that made this place. What he was saying.
It's a very sad.
That was some ethnic.
Oh yeah.
And look at the weak. Sorry to say on your show, the weak ass reply by the governor of Lagos State. See, I was blaming Edo the other day that the way the guy said, "Don't come from my state." I said, maybe it's too harsh. But I don't blame that governor. He was right.
Looking back,
now.
Yeah, looking back, maybe there's
a way to even go about this thing. So you can't go about going to.
Cut off.
Yeah, I'm sure he's still listening to us. You can't go about going from place to place when it's sensitive things. And if you notice, that's why I raised the issue of the GRA property that he said belongs to his brother.
And then there was a lot of.
Did you notice that? It didn't come to say there was this controversy. He just said that why are they doing this? They're not doing anything, sir. It's a private matter. It has nothing to do with government at all. It was until Lagos State came out to say we know nothing about this. So it's constantly calling out government on things that are not true, and these are facts. And the people who support him, the funny thing is, this is not 2023 where you could bully people off social media and nobody cares if either you are subscribing or you are unsubscribing or nobody cares. The truth has to be said, and if you have to put ethnic coloration on everything,
you're making it worse.
Making it worse, and you will get the results that you're looking for.
Yeah, you're making it worse. And like you said before, we leave the matter is that it could have turned into a riot. Really,
that's what I'm saying.
It could have.
Did you not see the protest that was happening there the day before?
Yeah, and so what would you now have said that? You now say, Lagos State is not safe. Is that the story?
There's always a spin. They will tell you, that the people who were protesting were peaceful until some people were on some. They always claim somebody hijacked something. You understand? But you're the one that's responsible because you're the one that went to incite them.
Anyway, again, maybe it's time that states actually become. Maybe they need to be, like you said, when you saw, I think we actually talked about it that, should the Edo State governor say that? But looking back, maybe it's time everybody needs to just sort themselves out. But going back to River State that we're talking about earlier, and again, I say, why? I feel very sorry for Governor Fubara at this point, because in my head, I'm like, if we're still going to go back to this, why didn't you just do this before? Like,
my own is, why are you dwelling on it? You've said this thing like 500 times.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
But we're past that now. We're past that. He has learned his lessons and he's moved on.
You had to sit at home for 6 months for you to learn your lessons.
But he has learned his lessons, and that's life.
Anyway, we have a comment. Laja says, Obi is the most tribalist political leader in the history of Nigeria, more than Ahmadu Bello. Picture how all these videos of his will play out in 40 years.
Yeah, and again, the internet never forgets. Imagine then that they didn't even have internet; they only had archives. And everything here is facts. You don't need. In fact, if this thing that you're hearing is vexing you, it's the truth. That's why you're angry, because you don't like the truth, and it is going to be something that we pray people do not let degenerate. The way we are going, the way people put ethnicity and tribalism into every situation, leaving out the fact that some of those buildings do not have building permits.
Some, if not all.
There are some buildings that are, if you know the trade fair place.
Yeah, so if some have permits and they were pulled down, we know for a fact that people get compensated for these things, even if it's pulled down. Do you understand? So I don't think the government is that horrible that because it's the coloration of they are targeting you. Let's stop this. Let's stop it. Worst case scenario, it might sound like I'm harsh, but if you really think that you are being targeted that much, please carry your bag and go back to your village. Really, you are being targeted, Abi? Please go back to your village or go back to your own. Let everybody stay in their geopolitical zone and let us be selling different things to each other. If people really need things like that, people come all the way from the north to go to Lagos Island to buy things now. Abi, if people really need stuff from you, they will go to the east and buy it.
Yeah, a lot of people still go to the east to buy things.
Exactly, people still do.
Onisha
So,
and all of that.
do you understand? So, if you really think that what you're selling is all that, please go. If your Lagos is unbearable for you, please go.
I'm just going to say that there are rules and regulations that govern the country, the cities, the local governments, and you must abide by them.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, you must abide
I see
by
a lot
them.
of
You cannot construct without a permit. The fact that you bought land or you leased land is not enough to say you are building anything.
now like the buildings that are being pulled down now in Ikota. I saw someone had put out the statement and said that, oh, when this thing was just newly built, he had a client and his friend that reached out to him and said, oh, that they were about to buy it. I said, okay, you know what? Let me help you. He's a lawyer. Like, let me help you look out for it. That he didn't even have to go to Lagos State. That was just a surveyor that asked that, please help me look through the Lagos plan that you have with you. And that the surveyor came back to him and said, oh, this thing is on a canal. You might say that, and he was like, this was a few years ago. You might say it won't work. It won't be pulled down. It's possible, but the minute is on it is a ticking time bomb. And he said he told his client that, and his client pulled out immediately. His friend did not. Now those are those buildings that are being pulled down now.
If you look at the aerial shot of that estate in what's that place called now? Ikota, that on the island.
Yeah, like you.
If you look at the aerial shot, you will find that where that estate was constructed, the tail end of it,
it's now a gutter.
I'd almost turned the thing into a gutter. You know, I saw the aerial shots, I saw the videos and everything. And these are the same people that their houses will get flooded first.
Yeah.
And they're the same people that are going to shout.
Say Lagos State.
So please, again, I understand it because it costs a lot. Some people have bought these things innocently because they don't know. So we need to also help people create awareness about it. Some people know, and they would end up bribing some corrupt officials, or they just look the other way, hoping that, oh, against all hope, that nothing happens.
There is a Mr. Tokumbo Wahab in the picture now.
You know, so again, please always do research. You see, for instance, if the surveyor or the lawyer or anybody that is trying to help you get property charges you a certain amount, or you go to the state and they charge you a certain amount, please do not feel that it's too much. Pay that money because it's cheaper than
saving you on the long
buying
run.
an entire house.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it has to be pulled down.
What my own thought process when it comes to this thing is that if I'm going to spend this amount of, because the truth is that these buildings are not cheap. They do not come cheap. It's hundreds of millions of naira. If you're going to spend that much, let it be worth your while. Now the money is gone. Now the money is gone. Two, not just the money is gone, you don't have land, you don't have house, you don't have money. Which company are you going to be fighting for money now?
I actually I'm being very humane here. I really put myself in those people's situations, and it doesn't feel good. It's a terrible, just thinking about it alone is scary.
It is.
I agree. That maybe some people borrowed money to buy the houses.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some kind
probably even still paying loan back.
And you get, and now the building,
you don't have house, you don't have money,
and you still have to pay the loan.
Let's have mercy on yourself and your blood pressure. That's it. I think that let's just do things the right way.
If we really want a country that works, we all need to revert to the law.
Yeah, and
that's
do
why
things the right way.
If you watch 10 episodes of Boomba, at least 5 we're talking about within the confines of the law.
Exactly.
You see, spiritually, emotionally, financially, you might not agree with the law, but the law is the law.
The law is the law. We don't like some of
That's
it.
why somebody spent 6 months on suspension.
Oh God.
The law is the law.
Oh God.
Yeah. So please, let's do it within the law.
Let's do the right thing.
And the guys at the Aspamda market should also tread carefully if they still want to trade there. I don't think they should allow themselves to be used as political pawns. I say that again because
the state government owns land.
It's almost like you rent a house from your landlord. Your landlord is at loggerheads with the estate. management, then you support estate management. No problem.
Yeah, though.
Maybe your rent will expire.
Yes, now.
Let estate management give you
and
house.
it's funny because you wonder, this happened in Lagos Island too.
Yeah.
We did not hear story of it was what's it called, the one. Let's stop this. Let's stop it. I really think that we should.
There was a time when Tokunbo shut down about 7 markets, all within the space of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Edo market was one of them. This market on the way to Ikpaja on that express.
Which market has really not been shut down in this Lagos?
And there were no ethnic colorations to it.
Let's not.
Why?
Let's just stop.
You know the funny thing, Computer Village is going to be shut down.
Is moving.
It's going to be shut down.
It is moving.
The place is going to revert to what's it called now? From commercial to residential, which is the original plan for that place. And let's not start this game again.
Let's not do that.
Because what is wrong is wrong.
Is wrong. Anyway, let's move on from that and let's go on an update with PENGASSAN. PENGASSAN is saying that the statement that the Minister of Labour had put out yesterday is not, they did not sign it, and that all they're doing at the moment is watching and seeing if Dangote is going to reinstate all these people that they had let go. That basically that is not true, that is because of dues, that's why they are fighting for people, but people need to be able to take care of their families, and that the minute the agreement is not the minute the agreement has not been moved, or the minute the agreement is that they all agree to, the once goalpost has shifts, that they will not even give any they won't give any notice, they will just begin strike immediately. So that's what they're saying. And I'm sorry, I need a bit of clarification. I see PENGASSAN and I see the name of the TUC president. Is the TUC president the same as the PENGASSAN president?
It could be a part of PENGASSAN too. Remember that the Trade Union Congress has several unions under it. You get just the same way the NLC has several unions under it.
Because I keep seeing his name with PENGASSAN
it looks
president.
Like
I'm
he operates more in that oil and gas sector. If you remember when they were doing all those inspections, he was always at the forefront of, following them to the inspections at the government-owned refineries and all of that.
Oh God!
Now
that Laja says Dangote has reassigned them from petroleum engineer to refining sugar and indomie. I'm not going to put the last part. Engineering now.
I'm just still going to repeat what I said a few days ago, a few hours ago. When a man, whether he borrowed the money in you or that he put it together, invest as much as 20 billion naira in a venture.
Is it naira or dollars?
Sorry, dollars. Thank you very much for that very good correction.
Thank you very much.
You don't tell him how to run his business.
Yeah. Dangote is going to systematically purge his company of the enemies of progress.
Well, I totally agree with your line of reasoning. I said it. Yes, I'm going to say it again.
You can't tell him how to run his business.
Anybody that is working towards bringing down the cost of energy in Nigeria, you see, the lifeblood of this economy is PMS. It's gas. Today, for the first time in my life as an adult, I had to queue to buy liquefied petroleum gas, LPG.
Yep.
I'd never I know we've been queuing for fuel for a while, and when Tinubu came, we stopped queuing for fuel until yesterday or today. The funny thing is, yesterday the queues disappeared. This morning they are back. Then we're trying to buy gas, and we had to queue up for it. It's crazy, and it's because of all the games that these guys are playing. I can't wait for the other big one, Boa. I know it's not as big as Dangote's own, but I can't wait for him to come on stream.
We
also
need more private.
So the more of that, it's obvious that the prices will come down. And every time we always use.
You saw a video. I don't know if you saw a video of this particular somebody that was alleging a lot of things with the cabal and kerosene and A1 jet fuel and all those things,
gas
and gas and all that. I'm like, if these matters are really true, when are we going to stop this nonsense?
Yeah. So that's the world that we live in, and there's no way in the world that we would leave a Dangote and support people who are shutting down power, shutting down gas supply.
Yeah. I think it's okay.
Honestly, you guys are saying you're a union. I don't think you're a union. I think you guys are more than that.
Terrorist. That's my own.
Do you know how many lives will be lost or have been lost based on your actions? Do you even care?
Terrorist behavior. That's my own.
I'm sorry, me, I know if you support PENGASSAN.
Yeah, NNPC is also talking about that this strike, the amount of losses they have also incurred in 3 days. They're saying that there was a 20% power shortfall. There was about a 16% oil production shortage as well, and 30% marketed gas losses.
That's what we're talking about.
In 3 days.
That's what we're talking about.
And you are telling me that it's because of 800 people that the whole of 200 million people are going to suffer.
For instance, I know someone who has been having power supply and the person's generator had not worked in months. And when they did this, their wickedness that they call strike, it couldn't buy petrol because he had not used the gen in a long time. And everything in his fridge is bad now.
And you say that
because you know they cut their power off for hours.
Oh yeah. Dangote. Oh yeah. This is basically what we're saying. Larger says Dangote with a sleep jet fuel for $8.50, and these cabals want to sell it at $1,250. Dangote's rate will reduce flight costs. Basically, it will. But
when are these guys going to realize that their time is up?
But there's something that you always say that they're not going to leave without a fight.
No, they won't.
But
I want them to realize that their time is up.
I also feel that I hope that even the regular Nigerians that were very quick to protest against the government, when do we start also protesting against these people? Because these people are making lives difficult for you and I.
We did not say you should not join union. We're saying it's a private refinery.
You're making life difficult for you and I.
The owner said, I don't want union.
I don't want in my company.
Simple.
Are you the one that...
Go and join union and work for government.
How much of your money did you put in this business?
The other one was saying on TV the other day, now is our money. Which money?
Which money?
Your money. Which money?
Who's your daddy's money?
Okay, please, let's stop this. Let's stop this nonsense. Dangote is our man.
Let's stop this nonsense. We speak. Thank you very much.
I don't know if we change tomorrow, but today.
Please, thank you very much. Anyway, police have begun enforcement of tinted glass and siren regulations in Edo and Delta States.
Now there they start. Before you know it now, it's pan Nigeria.
They're telling you now.
Some people say that you can get the tint permit online. Yeah. The police have made it easy. You can do it by yourself, pay, and online, get the permit and everything. I'm saying one day, we should get away from having to need a permit to tint our cars.
I think it is really born out of security.
One day we can wear military fatigues for fashion, and not fear that one young man or woman will beat the daylight out of you.
You have been warned. You have been warned.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
If you have a tinted vehicle, please go get your permit. The best part of that news is the ons and stuff for me.
Yeah, what the
you way say, people abuse ons in this country.
We might not like the law, but the law is the law. Sadly. As of today, the law is the law.
So you can't be blaming your ons anyhow.
Yeah, sirens, you can't use those things.
School bus drivers
indiscriminately anymore. You know, these days there are some people that just buy siren and just plug it to your cars and all that.
The school bus drivers, let me speak to them for 5 seconds. You come 6:37 and be pressing on because you want to pick somebody's child that is not in my compound. But now me they wake up.
Let's know what we are doing.
Don't worry, I will record your video and send it to the IG. IG must hear of this.
Anyway, so before we actually go, because there's maybe a few other things, but one thing I wanted to talk about is Champions League. And whether we might not, I think at first a lot of people didn't like this league conversation of what the Champions League UEFA changed it into. But I think one thing that we will not take away from it or makes it enjoyable for me is normally you don't see a lot of these high level matchups until maybe we start getting to quarterfinals and all that. But now this has given us the opportunity for everybody to play anybody and beat anybody anyhow. Yesterday, Karabakh actually beat Copenhagen 2-0. In fact, if you look at it, they have won their 2 games. Anybody can beat anybody. One person that decided to show up and show out Newcastle. We get it. We know it's Union SG, but I like when you know that you should beat someone and you beat the person convincingly.
As it should be.
It's a good thing. You know, they did that 4-0. Fantastic. Leverkusen PSV. This was me yesterday saying, you know what, you really never can tell. And the game ended 1-1. One that I'm not sure a lot of people saw coming was Monaco and Man City ending 2-2. Is it safe to say that I think the few days before we saw them beat Burnley 5-1 and I saw a lot of people, Man City is back. I'm not sure they are back. I'm not sure they are back anyway. It was just flashes. I would say it was Burnley.
You just must shout out to Erling Haaland. He can't stop scoring. Any other one, I don't have anything to say.
He can't stop scoring.
And shout out to Monaco. They didn't give up. They were down, but they fought back. And
they definitely did. Another very interesting matchup yesterday was Villarreal-Juventus. Ended 2-2.
Yeah, Villarreal is stubborn. We told you now that it's Juventus that will win. You're going to play draw.
Yes, I played draw, B.
Be respecting yourself.
Anyway, Borussia Dortmund, Athletic Bilbao. That one is 4-1 too. Not surprising. Also, Napoli beat Sporting CP 2-1 yesterday.
That one paid me, Sean.
Why?
No, Sporting I was rooting for Sporting.
Okay, sorry. That game showed us that, you know what, Kevin De Bruyne is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Class is permanent.
Oh, the class is permanent. Arsenal beat Olympiacos 2-0. I'm not sure.
Nothing to see there.
There was nothing to see there. One game that I think shocked everybody was PSG beating Barcelona at home 2-1.
It shocked you, Abi.
And it did not just beat them. If you watch the game, they dominated the game and they didn't have their usual front.
And Ballon d'Or did not even play.
He did not play, their front.
Quara did not play.
He did not play.
There's problem.
There's a big problem.
So all the big names are just big in name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You're just mean. But anyway, I think was a break now from Champions League football until 21st of October. So let's have a break. We're back to regular club football.
And that disruptive international window.
That's true. When is it? I think it's the next week, Abby. I think it should be done now by the next 2 games.
Everybody will know they are not going to the World Cup.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? You are just mean. You are just mean human being. You just had to put that out there.
I'm a realist.
Anyway, our thoughts and prayers are with people of Istanbul. Thankfully, there's not so much. There wasn't so much damage, but there was magnitude 5 earthquake in Istanbul, Turkey. We see these things. It has been coming all the way from Asia, coming down. We might not get earthquakes, but we see some of these things in a lot of flooding and all that. Everybody needs to be careful. There were I think Niger State has even announced that people need to move, saying that the flood is coming. The flood is coming. Please, let's be careful with those things. Also, Lagos State had announced saying that there is now an artisan certification that people that employ artisans to their buildings need to actually also make the artisans take to also reduce the occurrence of building collapse.
Hopefully this system will be a foolproof one. I struggle to see how they want to enforce it, but I hope they succeed at it because it's not been a great thing. You keep hearing about building collapse here and there.
Yeah, I agree. It's actually a very difficult time, and especially in Lagos State, it's something that seems to happen a lot. But anyway, on that note, that is all we have take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the comments and the phone call. We'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Whoop whoop. It's the TGIF edition of Boomba right here. Subscribe, like, share, drop a comment, follow our social media handles. It is Boom Radio NG. Have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.
Peace.